ब्रेक के बाद आप सभी दर्शकों का एक बार फिर से बहुत बहुत स्वागत। मैं हूं विकास टांगिया और दोस्तों फेस टू फेस के आज के अंक में हमारे साथ मौजूद हैं श्री साईं बाबा संस्थान शिरडी के ट्रस्टी, रिटायर्ड नेवल ऑफिसर व फाउंडर और मैनेजिंग डायरेक्टर ऑफ गारगोटी मिनरल म्यूजियम। केसी पांडे साहब, आपका एक बार फिर से बहुत बहुत स्वागत।
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that.
Indeed a pleasure. Let's talk about Gargoti Mineral Museum, one of the fantastic, I would say, developments from your end. और जैसा कि मैं कई बार कहता हूँ कि जौहरी ही जानता है कि हीरो की क्या असली पहचान है और कीमत क्या है। The thought of setting up a mineral museum in India, share your thoughts with us.
See, it was my childhood hobby. At the age of 16, I picked up this hobby of collecting the rocks. Basically, I'm the product of Naval College of Engineers, INS Shivaji Lonawala. When I was doing my engineering training after doing my 10+2, so whenever I used to go out from the premises, there used to be a lot of quarries, a lot of mining work. So I used to see a lot of colored rocks. And I had little knowledge about these rocks from my elder brother who was a chemical engineer. So I started picking up these rocks, and somehow slowly I started gathering the knowledge about it. And later on I felt that there is some divine bond between me and these rocks. And that journey has brought me to this place. And I retired from the Navy. I thought, let me try hand with this. By the time the technology took a lot of advancement, I used to get the books from all over the world written on the rocks, especially the rocks which I deal with. And later on the computer came, information technology came, and then I came to know that this can be marketed around the world. Then I learned about Natural History Museum around the world. Unfortunately, India doesn't have any mineral museum. I own the first mineral museum of the India. And it is one of the largest collection in the world of zeolites.
It is clearly a private museum.
Private museum, but the collection is one of the largest collection in the world for zeolites. Once again, I repeat, there is no doubt about it. And this was just a patriotic fervor. I wanted to make this museum in a later stage of my life as a retirement plan. But when I knew that there is no museum in the India, and India has an enormous potential in the mineralogy and in every field. अपार संपदाओं का देश है इंडिया, चाहे किसी भी तरह की संपदा ले लें, बौद्धिक संपदा ले लें, साहित्यिक संपदा ले लें, खनिज संपदा ले लें, आप वनस्पतिक संपदा ले लें, और अभी जो लेटेस्ट ट्रेजर खजाने मिल रहे हैं मंदिरों से, वो तो एक प्रूफ हो गया है कि हिंदुस्तान वाकई विश्व का एक प्रधान देश था और अभी भी है। एक बहुत ओल्ड सिविलाइजेशन होने के नाते कहीं इरोडेड एंड करोडेड हो गए हैं हम लोग। वी नीड टू re-energize ourselves and lead the world. So coming back to my hobby, I founded this Gargoti Mineral Museum in 2001. This houses the collection mainly of India, Maharashtra, but it does have the collection worldwide. I have the moon rock in my museum. I have the rock from Mars. I have some, gemstone from over the world. I have a lot of stones from America too. I have the gold crystals with 99% purity. I have platinum crystal. So basically it was to show to India and to the government of India that how much minerals are still left over. And if you explore what we talk about the economy, what we talk about the employment, India is one of the leading country in such a small country. It's not area wise, it is not vast.
Sure.
But it has all kinds of minerals. Whether you talk about uranium, you talk about tungsten, rare of the rarest. And initially when I started exploring, I did it at my own cost. And being my background as a soldier, as a naval officer, I was always, outward to go, and I took the challenges. Even I explored the areas when Veerappan was alive, even the terrorist areas, even the Naxalite areas, because of the challenge that was inculcated in me through the services.
Sure.
So I took this liberty of going all around and exploring, and time to time, the Geological Survey of India, even to the government, through the various newspapers, various channels, I try to bring up to in front of the government. And I think slowly India is reaching there, but a lot is required to be done.
Sure. Now, while we're talking about the museum, obviously the question that comes to mind is, what is really the meaning of Gargoti?
See, Gargoti is a native Marathi name. I picked up this name, and basically when the quote which people do in Marathi for the Gargoti is for the ROG stone, which has no value. But coming to the fact that some gargotes are much expensive than diamonds. They are the much rarer than the diamonds and emeralds and those things. So I wanted to send a message, okay, look, nothing in this world is a ROG. If you know the uses, if you know the value, they all have value. So God has not made any stone or anybody or any species in the of life as a ROG. So this was a message. That's why I kept the name Gargote, that if you put your efforts, Gargote can, excel more than diamond.
Sure. Now, you travel worldwide and you reach out to a lot of your, foreign clientele as well. What has been their reaction when they visit Gargote with such a phenomenal, exclusive collection of these phenomenal stones, rocks? What is their thoughts? What is their reaction?
See, though the reaction had been very loud and very noteworthy, but few people, like I have a friend who bought a lot of rocks from me. He is equivalent to the Nobel Prize winner in the mathematics. Nobel Prize in mathematics is called Field Medal. He is one of the top collector of the world. His name is Professor Stephen Ismail. When I inaugurated the museum, I invited him. He is American. I thought he will criticize me because he's from America. America has a Smithsonian, a lot of museums.
Sure.
So I thought he'll criticize me, my efforts. But when he came to the museum, he liked it, and he was very loud enough to share everything with the audience that it is one of the best museum he ever seen of the zeolites. Though my main focus was for the Indian zeolites. So all around the world people come and they have, as I told you, this is one of the largest collection in the world for the zeolites. And zeolites are more aesthetic, more beauty. Like when you talk the vividity of the India, when you look at my minerals or my collection or go on my site, you'll see that vividity is reflected in the Indianness is there.
Sure.
No such country is there in the world. I am not talking because I am Indian, but I am telling you with logics, if you look at Indian zeolites, no country has such minerals to offer, such in a color, such in a crystalline, such in a beauty. So I really feel proud to be Indian and to introduce zeolite to the world. And there are many more such minerals are there, because this is just one branch of the mineralogy.
Sure.
There are many branches yet to be explored, and through you I would like to invite the Government of India, various professionals. So they should join hand and they should explore India. And once again I will say that India houses one of the best treasure in the world.
Sure. Now, would it be right to say that Gargote is the Indian Smithsonian Museum?
It won't be right because Smithsonian has a lot of antiquity, but you can say that Gargote is an eye-opener, and in the zeolite field, it beats the Smithsonian.
All right, on that note, we'll take another short break, and we shall continue our talk with Shri K.C. Pandeji right after the short break. Stay tuned and keep watching Face to Face. Welcome back. You're watching Face to Face. I'm Vikas Nangia. Ladies and gentlemen, today we are delighted to have in our studio the trustee of Shri Sai Baba Sansthan, Shirdi, the retired naval officer and the founder and managing director of Gargote Mineral Museum, Shri K.C. Pandey. Once again, welcome to the program.
Thank you, sir.
For many, these, as we were talking about the break about the Gargote Mineral Museum, the collection of rocks and that you have, some of the incredible collection that you have. For many, these rocks have a spiritual connection. For many, it is just for mere display. But in your opinion, what is the appropriate usage of these stones, these rocks?
See, the minerals which I deal with are very widely used. In a very ancient days, they were used for pharmaceutical purposes. They are also used as a catalyst for a big chemical reaction. They are also used for making better liquor, better wine, better distillation.
Fantastic.
They are
Not
also
too many
used
people know
for
about
aqua purification. The silica which you use in a chips,
Silicon Valley.
silicon that is derived out of that. The piezoelectric effect in the quartz watches. The quartz stone is very well known. Lately they are used treating the nuclear waste, which is the biggest challenge of the modern civilization. Because when we are making any nuclear power plant, how to treat the nuclear waste, nuclear scrap. So these are the stones, these are the minerals. They neutralize the hazardous chemicalness of those nuclear waste very quickly.
So can you talk about some of your potential clients who have used it for, for their R&Ds and in their day-to-day workings?
See, my dealings are always with the elite clientele. Basically, I sell rocks to the Smithsonian, other museums, other top collectors of the world. So I serve to the elite clientele, like, those who are, like you buy the painting of Picasso for 5 million, 10 million. So basically, my buyers are also of that range. I don't use I don't sell to the industrial part of it, because that sells for 10 cents a kilo or $1 a kilo. And somehow that's a different line, but they are used and it is very widely available on the net. And one more thing I would like to tell you through you, lately they had been used in the cancer treatment. I get a lot of emails because when they look as a zeolite dealer, they send me an email that we heard that zeolites are used for curing the cancer. So I always tell them that I really don't know which form is used, but definitely the people are working in this field, and this is also lately used for the cancer patients also.
Now, while you discover these special stones, is there a particular area that you really have your minds, or perhaps from where you abstract these rocks in India?
Basically, my stones are found random because there is no organized quarrying in India. I belong to Maharashtra now. So basically, wherever they dig for the road gravels, stone metals, for the building material, or they lay the new railway lines, they make the tunneling. So basically, Maharashtra Deccan Plateau is an old volcanic zone, and my stones are 65 million year old. My crystals minimum, you can add on 1,000, 2,000, that doesn't matter.
65 million years old.
This is all word of science, nothing is done by me. It's all word of science, carbon dating, carbon aging. There is authentic documentation on that. And you asked one thing, that how they are spiritually connected. I take it as a very layman. Take the example of pyramids of Egypt. Egypt pyramids are man-made. If you look at my crystal, most of my crystalline structure is like a pyramidal shape. So these are the pyramids God made. So if the man-made pyramids has so much energy, so much preservation, why not the crystals? And there are planetary motion. There are I mean cosmic rays. All these effects are there. And even you take a wood, you take anything which is seasoned, like 100 years old wine, 50 years old something.
Sure.
They have so much power in it. If a man is 80 years old, if person is serving 30 years in the same field, he is called to be the master of that field. So these stones, they have lived ages, 65 million year old.
Fantastic.
So they have enormous power in it, and through the cosmic energy, when you keep any rock in your house, and they don't have any kind of negative energy. That's why I say, if they can neutralize the nuclear waste, why not they cannot neutralize our negativity.
Absolutely.
So this is one of the best logic I have, and this is own generated logic.
No, well, it is a very relevant logic, let me put it like this. Well, thank you so much for joining us here at TV Asia. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Thanks to TV Asia. Thank you so much.